Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually clicked buy now on something? Like really intentionally? Not because it was on sale, not because it followed you around the internet for 3 days, but because the words made you stop scrolling and think, wow, this is for me. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Because here's the truth. Your biggest competition isn't another business in your niche. It's your audience's attention span. We've all cooked our brains on 5-second TikTok reels, infinite scrolling, and content overload. So if your copy isn't landing, it's not because copy is dead. It's because copy has to work differently now. And today, I want to talk about the one copywriting shift that will help you stand out and sell more in 2026. Spoiler alert, it's not about sounding smarter. It's about sounding more human. Selling sounds simple on paper. You write some words, someone reads them. They click buy now. But in reality, there's a whole emotional process happening before that click ever happens. Before someone buys, they need to trust you, feel seen, get curious, believe you understand their problem, and feel excited enough to take action. When great copy works, taking action doesn't even feel like a decision. It feels obvious, almost automatic. And that's what we're aiming for. If you want to scale your business, your copy needs to do 3 things at once: rank, convert, and still sound authentic to your brand. So how do you actually pull that off? It starts with knowing your audience better than anyone else. Here's the hard truth. If your copy isn't connecting, it's usually not because your product is bad. It's because you're not fully clear on who you're talking to. Brands that fade into the background tend to do one thing really well. They try to talk to everyone. And when you talk to everyone, no one feels personally invited to hit add to cart. Great copy is specific. It knows exactly who it's speaking to. So instead of asking, how do I sell this? Ask, what is my audience struggling with right now? What keeps them up at night? What have they already tried? What are they tired of hearing? Before you ever get a sale, you need trust. And trust comes from sounding like someone who gets it. Let me show you what that looks like in real life. Let's talk about Skin by Kim. Kim Kardashian's skincare line officially shut down in 2025. And honestly, it wasn't because the products themselves were terrible. The real issue was messaging. There was no clear hero product packaging that claimed to be eco-friendly but used excessive plastic, prices that felt out of reach, even for loyal fans. But the biggest problem? The copy didn't resonate with anyone. It didn't address pain points. It didn't speak to a real skincare struggle. It was just words. And worse, mismatched words. Skin was selling physical exfoliants at a time when the skincare world had already moved on to gentle chemical exfoliation and barrier repair. Meanwhile, Kim herself has openly talked about struggling with psoriasis and eczema. That disconnect mattered. Now imagine a different approach. What if Kim had led with that story? What if she launched with just a cleanser and moisturizer, her actual tried-and-true routine? The copy could have focused on barrier protection, dermatologist collaboration, and skincare designed for long filming days and constant travel. That would have resonated deeply with fans who've watched her talk about her skin struggles and with people who deal with the same issues, even if they weren't fans at all. That's the power of aligned messaging. If you're thinking, okay, but how do I figure this out? You already have tools at your fingertips. Platforms like Google Analytics, Meta, Instagram, and X are goldmines for social listening. They tell you what people care about, what they're frustrated with, and what language they actually use. That insight should shape your headlines, your hooks, and your offers. And when brands do this right, it shows. Which brings us to a brand that absolutely nailed it. Where Skin missed the mark, Rhode understood the assignment. Hailey Bieber isn't selling luxury skincare. She's selling relatable self-care. Her audience watched her test these products on YouTube for months. Lip peptides, milky toners, hydration routines, all before the brand even launched. By the time Rhode dropped, she was already known for having some of the healthiest skin in Hollywood. And instead of overpromising, the messaging stayed focused. Hydration, nourishment, skin barrier health. That speaks directly to Gen Z and younger millennials, especially after the overexfoliation chaos of the early 2000s. And let's not forget, Hailey was at the center of trends like glazed donut skin, strawberry girl makeup, latte makeup. But that didn't happen by accident. She listened to her audience. She didn't use outdated hooks like get ageless skin. She spoke in a language her audience actually uses. One of Rhode's most iconic lines, one of everything really good, sounds exactly like how Gen Z talks. It communicates simplicity, curation, and less is more in one sentence. Another standout? Designed to nourish your skin barrier. Simple, clear, perfect timing. Rhode didn't just sell products, it solved a problem people were already talking about. And that's why it became a bestseller. Good copy builds great brands. At Tower 25, this is what we're obsessed with. How intentional, human copy creates real connection. Because when your audience feels understood, they stick around. When your messaging feels personal, trust grows. And when trust grows, sales follow. Great copy doesn't shout. It doesn't overpromise. It sounds familiar, honest, human. Every line should have a purpose. Every post should move the relationship forward. And if you're ready to make your brand's messaging actually work, if you want your copy to feel like magic instead of guesswork, you don't have to do it alone. Our team helps small businesses stand out by connecting with their audience on a deeper, more personal level. If that sounds like what you need, book a free consultation with us. Let's make your copy work harder for you.